Greetings, auto subs, VideoJames, and today we got a how to use Gliscor video. I know I said I'd do Marshadow this week, but I still want to get a little bit more research done on Marshadow, but from what I've gathered, it's basically kind of like Mewtwo X. I still want to see all of the possibilities that it can encounter. Phone, will you shut up? But anyway, today we're just going to be doing how to use Gliscor, because Gliscor is actually one of my favorite Pokemon. Gliscor has actually always been one of my favorite Pokemon ever since back in Gen 4 when Diamond and Pearl came out, because he was in the first game that I ever played, Diamond and Pearl. And in my opinion, Diamond and Pearl, along with Soul Silver and Heart Gold, were some of the best Pokemon games to ever be made, only topped by some of the original. But anyway, looking at Gliscor, we see we have the ground flying type, which means we are going to unfortunately get that 4 times weakness to ice, as well as that 2 times weakness to water, so we really don't want to see Ash Greninja in this day and age. We really don't want to see Ash Greninja in this age, because Gliscor is not really something for special defense. He's not really much in the way of tanking in a non-defensive area, but Gliscor is actually a very good tank. And then we see we got abilities. We have Hyper Cutter. Opponent cannot lower your attack, so something with like Intimidate. Okay, Hyper Cutter, you're not doing that. Even though Hyper Cutter, you're not really going to see it that often. Sand Veil raises our evasion by 1 in a Hailstorm. I've done that twice now. Sandstorm. And then we have the hidden ability Poison Heal. HP is restored by 1/8 of the maximum HP while this Pokemon is poisoned. And that's oftentimes what you'll see on a Gliscor. That Gliscor, it oftentimes comes with the Toxic Orb or Toxic, and it'll usually try and go up against a Magic Bounce user if it has Toxic to get the Toxic launched back at itself. And then it'll just end up healing from poison because, you know, it works the exact opposite. It's poison, it's like an antidote for it. In the base stat total, we see we have a very fast tank, actually. The Gliscor's got a higher speed for most tanks than you would actually expect to see. That we have HP 75, attack 95, defense 125, abysmal special attack with 445, special attack 75, and then speed with 95. So Gliscor is actually a very fast Pokemon. Like, Gliscor is actually going to be outspeeding a lot of the other tanks that don't have speed investment, just with simple EV investment. And then moving over into Showdown, we see that the first Gliscor set is actually a Choice Scarf Sand Veil set. So this Gliscor is kind of just Choice Scarfed for the speed, Sand Veil. Then we got Earthquake, Poison Jab, Brick Break, and U-Turn, with the maxed out attack and speed and the Adamant Nature. Now the idea behind this set is really kinda, you want to set it off of something that starts up with Sandstorm. So something like Hippowdon. That Hippowdon has Sandstream as its signature ability. Stealth Rock. You can get out of Stealth Rock on a Hippowdon and still take a lot of damage. And then you can use Yawn or Toxic to kind of force your opponent to want to switch in. And then you can switch into Gliscor, and once that opponent takes that little extra bit of damage from the Stealth Rock and or the Sandstorm, then you can just kind of take them out the next turn. So the idea behind this set is you kind of just max out the attack, reaching that 317, max out the speed, hitting the 289, Choice Scarf doubling that, well, 1.5ing that, to about 430 something, and then we just got Earthquake for the massive 100 damage and 100% accuracy, Poison Jab just for counters on a lot of stuff like Togekiss. Togekiss has the exact same speed as us, so we'll actually be able to kill it with a Poison Jab. Brick Break to kind of counter all those nasty Steel types and Ice types and all that. And then just U-Turn to get us out of a bad situation, that U-Turn. We really don't want to be in certain situations, so we can just be like, okay, no, I'm gonna get up out of here. And we see the next set is actually a Swords Dance Roost set. So we see we got the Toxic Orb with the Poison Heal. Like I said, that's gonna be a very common thing to see on a Gliscor. You almost never see Sandveil or anything unless you see something running Sandstorm or Sandstream along with a Gliscor. And I don't really ever think anyone ever uses Hyper Cutter, actually. But anyway, we see that we got the Toxic Orb with Poison Heal. We have Swords Dance, Roost, Earthquake, and Knockoff. And then we just got maxed out HP and defense with the Bold Nature and 4 EVs thrown in the speed. Now the idea behind this set is we become a massive defensive tank. That Gliscor, its max HP investment with EVs hits 354. Its max defense, amazingly high, that we're hitting 383, which is about some of the stats on, I think, a Torterra. I think Torterra actually hits 383 in defense as well. And then we got Swords Dance, doubling our attack, so we're hitting 452. Roost, to get back a little bit of health when we take damage. Okay, you're gonna pinch me in the wing. Ow, I get that health back. And then just Earthquake for the massive damage, and Knock Off, just because Knock Off is a really pesky move now, that with Knock Off you can kind of get rid of your opponent's item and almost ruin their entire setup, and it just makes you a really annoying Pokemon. That Knock Off is not really something you see a lot of anymore, that a lot of times you just see Tapu Kokos or Greninjas, and basically you just see all the same kind of Pokemon that all rely on items, and then you get a knockoff, and it's like, oh crap, I can't do that anymore. But this Gliscor does work out really well. I actually favor this Gliscor, because this is my favorite set. There are other sets that run almost the same way, but this one just actually works out amazingly well a lot of the time. And then we see the next set is actually a Power Trick Brick Break set. So the idea behind this is we've got maxed out defense and speed with the Impish Nature, we have Power Trick, and we have Brick Break, and then we have the Toxic Orb with the Poison Heal again. So the idea behind this set is we have Power Trick. Power Trick, if you don't know, it swaps the user's attack and defense. And Brick Break is just a massively useful fighting type move. That 75 power, 100% accuracy, and it breaks down Reflect and Light Screen. So your opponent's trying to set up defensive walls. Okay, Gliscor says no. But the idea behind this set is basically... Oh, Impish Nature, not Bold, my bad. But the idea behind this set is basically that first turn you take a hit because your defense is so high, and you get the Toxic Orb off just to give you that little bit of health, and then you have the Power Trick to swap your defense and your attack, and then next turn you get that decent amount of speed, so you can just massively damage them with a 383 in your attack now, and just do massive damage with Brick Break. You can also run Earthquake or Poison Jab, but I really think only one move is necessary on this set, and it could be Brick Break or Earthquake, depending on what you want to do. Hey, I just realized Brick Break and Earthquake rhyme. That's actually something I just now realized. But this set is actually amazing if you can get it off. Like, okay, the way this set is usually played is you send out something that can get speed lowering off on your opponent, and then you send in Gliscor. So something like Galvantula. Get off the Sticky Web. Your opponent's slowed down now, so Gliscor is probably going to outspeed him. We get the Power Trick off, and then we just ram into everything and kill it with our giant claws. And then moving on to the final Gliscor set, we actually have a red card Poison Heal set. So the idea behind this set is actually that it kind of relies on Magic Bounce a little. So we see we have Toxic, Substitute, Roost, and Knockoff with the Poison Heal ability. We've got maxed out HP and defense with the Impish Nature once again, and then we have 4 EVs thrown into Special Defense. Now the idea behind this set is slightly reliant on Magic Bouncers a little bit, that usually this set works out best if you run into something like an Espeon. So first turn, you send out a Gliscor, you Toxic yourself, and then next turn, you Substitute, and then you get back your health with Roost, and then you can just knock off. And this makes this Gliscor an extremely annoying Pokemon, because we've got the high defense. A lot of Pokemon don't really use defensive moves anymore, they go for special defense, but if we do see something that uses a defensive move, it's like, okay, that's not going to hurt that very much. And with our ground and flying type, that we have a resistance to almost everything and are normally damaged by everything else, and Gliscor has 2 immunities to stuff that's very common now, that ground types. Okay, we got an immunity to that. Tapu Koko, Raichu, we have an immunity to that. That Gliscor just basically ruins the entire metagame, and with Knockoff, Roost, and Substitute becomes a very annoying Pokemon. And the red card kind of just forces your opponent to switch out in case they actually do manage to land on a hit on you, which is usually the case after the Magic Bouncer is kind of set up, because usually when you get a Magic Bouncer, it kind of tends to want to set up the first turn. So the idea is basically the Magic Bouncer sets up, you get off the Toxic, and then next turn they try to hit you, your red card kicks off, and they get sent out of the battle, losing all their bonuses. But anyway, that's going to be it for how to use Gliscor. Again, I will be doing a Marshadow video probably next week. Let me know what you guys think. I probably will be doing a Marshadow video, but that's going to be it for this how to use Gliscor video. Again, Gliscor, one of my favorite Pokemon. This guy's my boy. I absolutely love him. But anyway, I'm leaving this video here. If you guys have any Pokemon you want me to do videos on, as always, let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, you can slap the like button as always, and I will see all you beautiful people in the next one.